Hey, what's up, Coach? Welcome back to the podcast. Today is episode 153, and the title is Kids Are Crying Because of You. And let me tell you a story. This happened about 2.5 years ago. I was at a conference, and I went to this conference where there's all these high-level speakers that are essentially like gurus in their space. And there was one guy there who really stood out to me, and we struck up a conversation. It was after he got done talking. I was getting some coffee, and I saw him in the hallway. And I wanted to just ask him a couple of questions because his whole presentation was about selling and how to get really good at it. And one thing that he mentioned in his presentation was there's a lot of people out there in your area that need your help, and they go to bed at night crying because you're not able to help them, and it's your obligation to go help them. And when he said that in his presentation, it really stood out to me because it made me feel like, wow, am I marketing hard enough? Am I talking to enough parents? Am I doing whatever it takes to help more kids? And I knew when I asked myself that question, I was like, no, I'm not. So I went to go talk to this guy, and he learned more about what I do. And we were just focusing on, what I'm doing with my business with private soccer training. And he was like, Ben, there's thousands of kids in your area that are going to be crying at night because they're not good at soccer. They have low self-confidence. They are not improving with their current teams. And he looked at me and he goes, it's your fault. He goes, it's your obligation to change that. And I took that mindset and I realized when I got home, I was like, man, there's a lot of parents out there who've reached out to me in the past that didn't convert as a client that I can reach out to and see if I can help their kid in any way. So that was the first thing I did. Then I realized anytime parents show interest in my program, I need to make it my mission to close them into my program. Otherwise, I can't help their kid. And that's when I started to get really good at selling over the phone. This is one of the things we talk about in our mastermind program all the time. If you have the conviction that your program can help kids, then you need to have ownership, complete ownership on picking up the phone, calling parents, being really good at sales, practice that, really hone in on that craft of selling. And so this way you can help more kids because there's thousands of kids in your area that go to bed at night that are crying because they are not getting your help. And at the end of the day, it's your fault if you can't help them. It's not their fault. It's your fault because you need to get your message in front of them. And there's a variety of ways you can do that. You could do that through a podcast. You could do that through Facebook videos that are marketed towards their parents. You could have an email newsletter. There's so many different ways you can market what you do. But the thing that you have to do is just get started with it and have that mindset. Know that it is up to you. Don't let kids go to bed crying at night because they're not getting your help. All right? It's up to you, and you got to get it done. So I'm going to leave you with that note there. Don't let kids go to bed crying at night. And if you have that mindset, I can promise you'll be a lot more successful with your business. If you like today's message, make sure and leave us some feedback on iTunes. My mission is to get this podcast in front of more coaches. And the way we do that is by you leaving us reviews. So leave us a review on iTunes. Share this podcast on social media. Tag me on Instagram. Let me know that you're listening to it. And if you want a discount to one of our newest programs, go listen to episode 152. And that's all I'll say about that. I'll see you later.